Good evening, dreamers, and welcome back to the Mystic Escape. I'm your host, Dion Mystique, amateur writer, and tonight I'm going to, or this morning, or whatever time of the day it is for you, I'm going to begin this off with a few shout outs. Oh my goodness. I have to shout out to 3 people, but one of them was kind of like a bit of a awkward thing for me. I'll explain it though. Now the first 2 I'm going to give a shout out to are 2 of my subscribers, Killer Rodan and Sailor Moon 5555. Thank you so much for giving me your love, baby. Well, commented, subscribed. It's just wonderful people. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Now, the third one though, yeah, that was a bit of a surprise to me because it surprised me at first because I was checking out my unfinished draft of volume 2 on Google Docs. I use Google Docs to write my stuff under my same pen name, Dion Mystique. And I saw that I had a reader, and I only share my link to my story, my rough drafts and stuff with my fellow creators and my close friends and people that I know. But it was surprised me at first because I forgot that I could share that using a little tool on there that allows people to look at it, edit it, view it. But I usually mainly use view it, commenting about. I mainly let people view it, and I was like, wait a minute. How do I have a reader on here and I don't know who this person is? It's somebody by the name of Anonymous Narwhal, and that name sounded familiar to me. Now I was looking because I like to look up sometimes, and I'm a bit kind of paranoid sometimes when I see stuff like that. So I looked up and I see a YouTuber named Anonymous Narwhal, 3 channels, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, okay. So all 3 people, they're YouTubers. And I'm like, okay, I don't even mind Mr. or Miss Anonymous looking at it. I don't care. But it's just like, wow. But I want to thank all 3 of you. And hey, if keep looking, come check out my YouTube. Subscribe. Or hey, give me your love. I want love. I want to get to know y'all. Talk to me, please. You know, give me more. I want to see and meet and get to know my dreamers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about love here. All right. Well, tonight I'm going to share with all of you chapter 1 of volume 1 of our story, Synced. And this is going to be a 2-part video. The reason why that is because chapter 1 is separated into 2 sections. The first part is chapter 1 itself, which is establishing the body of the story. And part 2 is a very special 3-parter segment that I got some inspiration and advice from my fellow creators in my team Mystic Storm, to do. And it's very cool because it's interactive. I like interaction when I read stuff, you know, because it makes it more fun. So it's kind of like a little bit of, you know, kind of like a bit of a Life is Strange meets, I don't know, Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness in a sense. I don't know what to say. But it's cool. Anyway, we're going to stop shooting the bull. But if you want to follow along with me reading, because I tend to have a little bit of a slip of the tongue sometimes, and I will laugh at myself. I posted a link to my Fiction Press account in the description below. So if you want to follow along with me as I'm reading, by all means, please do, because I'm still getting used to reading on this headset. I'm doing this on my cell phone, so by all means do that, please. I'm going to get into character once again, and these characters are inspired by people that I know, so I'm going to do my very best to mimicry or mimic their voice to my best ability. So I'm going to get very much so into character, and if somebody was supposed to socially be like, oh my god, Dion sounds like this and that, it's because that's the way it's supposed to sound. I've been practicing, so I hope y'all like it. All right, here we go, dears. We have to get intelligent right now. All right, chapter 1. Be my sweet self. Chapter 1 is called Back in Time, with the question mark at the end, so it's a bit of a question. All right, let me get a sippy of water. Oh, I love water. It's what we need. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot how rude of me. Before I begin, I ask that y'all get settled down, grab something, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab a smoky, or whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? Because when I read, I want y'all to be comfortable. So we're going to pause for a few seconds. If you need more time, like if you have to do something else, just pause the video or come back. And whatever, because I'm not forcing anyone to listen to this. This is something to when people are winding down, something to chill out, something to gauge the mind. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to pause for a few seconds. I'm going to do it for 10 seconds, but depending on what you're going to do, you know, it could be longer than that. So pause it. All right. Here we go, everybody. Fiorentina was founded in 92 BC as a settlement for soldiers who were allotted land by the ancient King Pontius Ivan Nero Britannicus in the rich farming valley of Primera. Dubbed Fiore, the city was built in the style of a military camp with a castrum of grid pattern, and the main streets, the Lugario and the Cordata, intersecting at the present Republic Plaza. Fiore was situated at the Via Cameria, the main route between Romanesque and the north, which enabled it to rapidly expand as a commercial center. Emperor Dionysius made Fiore capital of the province of Neve in the 3rd century AD. Saint Rodan was Fiorentina's first martyr. He was beheaded at about 269 AD during the anti-Way of Heaven persecutions of Emperor Roman. The Basilica of St. Julius at Montegoria now stands near the spot. The seat of a bishopric from around the beginning of the 5th century CE, the city was alternatingly under Justinian and Theodoric rule as the two powers fought for control of Fiorentina. taking it by siege only to lose it again later. People. I had to put my input in there, honey. All right. Peace returned under Lombardo rule in the 6th century, conquered by Chantresian the Great in 777. Fiorentina became part of the March of Telbizia, which had Vienna as its capital. Now pay attention to that. Vienna, remember it, make a mark of it, V-E-N-A. That's going to come up again later on, okay? All right. The population began to grow again, and commerce prospered. In 900, Fiorentina and Demesna united into one county. By the Middle Ages, Eduardo the Conqueror chose Fiorentina as his residence instead of Vienna in the year 1001. This initiated the golden age of Florentine art. In 1014, the construction of the Basilica of St. Ruffalo at Montegoria had begun. The exterior of the baptistry was reworked in Romantic style between 1061 and 1142. Reviving from the 10th century and governed from 1120 by an autonomous medieval commune, the city was plunged into internal strife by the 13th century struggle between the Osmans, supporters of the Sylvanian emperor, and the pro-bishopric glyphs under, after the murder of nobleman Udon de Saint Francine for reneging on his agreement to marry one of his daughters to the Demarche family. In 1260, the city was ruled by a glyph usurper named Neven Donatello. The glyphs had triumphed and soon split in turning to feuding white and black factions led respectively by Joe Visconti and Don de Oliveira. These struggles eventually led to the exile of the white glyphs, one of whom was Vincent de Magia. This factional strife was later recorded by Feder Wilhelmine, a white glyph, in his famous narrative Chronicles of Fiorentina. Political conflict did not, however, prevent the city's rise to become the most powerful and prosperous in Uvenia. Assisted by her own strong gold currency, the Fiorine of the Republic of Fiorentina was introduced in 1254. The first Uvenian gold coin struck in sufficient quantities to play a significant commercial role since the 7th century. Many Fiorentine banks had branches across Uvenia, with able bankers and merchants such as the famous chronicler Vianney Burgess engaging in commercial transactions as far away as Vidal. The Fiorine quickly became a dominant trade coin of Western Uvenia, replacing silver bars in multiples of the mark. This also saw the eclipse of Fiorentina's formerly powerful rival, Elsa, which was defeated by Julia in 1401. Power shifted from the aristocracy to the to the mercantile elite and members of the organized guilds after an anti-aristocratic movement led by John della Volta enacted the Order of Supreme Justice in 1294. While visiting the ruins of Lugario during the Jubilee celebration of 1301, excuse me, the banker and chronicler Fedor Gianni noted the well-known history of the city, its monuments and achievements, and was then inspired to write a universal history of his own city of Fiorentina. Hence, he began to record in year-by-year format the history of Fiorentina in his Nova Fabulum, which was continued by his brother and nephew when he succumbed to the silent death in 1350. Excuse me for my little mistakes here and there. I'm still getting used to the breathing because I haven't had to do this since I was in debate years ago back in high school. So I'm kind of rusty with the speaking aloud, but it's cool. It's all in fun, right? Johnny is praised by historians for preserving valuable information on statistics, biographies, and even events taking place throughout Uvenia. But his work has also drawn criticism by historians for its many inaccuracies, use of the supernatural and divine providence to explain the outcome of events, and glorification of Fiorentina and its government. Of a population estimated at 90,000 before the silent death of 1350, about 26,000 are estimated to have been engaged in the city's wool industry. In 1346, Fiorentina was the scene of an attempted strike by wool carders, who in 1380 rose up in a brief revolt against oligarchic rule in the Carter Revolution. After their suppression, the city came under the sway of the Agatha family from 1383 to 1435. To be 1435. Bitter rivals of the Medea. Oswell Medea was the first Medea family member to essentially control the city from behind the scenes. Although the city was technically a democracy of sorts, his power came from a vast patronage network, along with his alliance to new immigrants. The fact that the Medea were bankers to the Pope also contributed to their rise. Oswell was succeeded by his son Pietro di Oswell Medea, who was shortly thereafter succeeded by Oswell's grandson Luca in 1469. Luca was a great patron of the arts, commissioning works by Levesque, Eduardo di San Fedoria, and Bartholomew. Enough rambling about the history of this city. I now present you with a question. Does all of this sound familiar? A bit too familiar, in fact. It should. Fiorentina is an alternate reality version of Florence, Italy, made true by the Crimson Knight's sacrifice. The taboo chronometrage, a high-level unlimited rebirth spell, has the power to reverse time to a former date. Only time itself is made incorrect. In other words, everything is a contradiction. Fiorentina is a Florence under the generational rule of the historic House of Medici, renamed the House of Medea in this reality. Were they not swamped with bitter rivals? And for those who know the history, you know what I'm talking about. The Medici had a bunch of rivals. I'm not playing with that. Like, wow. All right. The city saw an ongoing peace that allotted the Fiorentine government in excess of time. In its duration, the city saw great advancements that elevated its significance. Artistry, commerce, technology, law, festivities, everything evolved in due time. until even rivaling countries saw the same progression. Our planet is now called Gaia Exist, a complete dream compared to its former incarnation, and stands as a lone superplanet among all others in the Milky Way galaxy, a miracle of miracles, but one with many flaws. Gaia Exist is a planet living its final 7 days. Yeah, you're right, only a week, honey. Unbeknownst to its people, the world will meet traumatic changes in the next few hours. This is due to the unlimited rebirth spell, but like all situations, chance and possibility are present. For in this alternate reality, 2 warring factions, the Brotherhood of Shadows and the Order of Wisdom, exist among the masses and stationed their operations mostly in Yevenia. Should I say station their operations in Yevenia? Excuse me. Their current incarnations lie in obscurity, but the battle still ensues. Goodness, them slips of the tongue, honey. Tonight marks the first evening of the Parade of Dignity, and the Holographica, a state-of-the-art projection system designed for entertainment purposes, is at the forefront of festivities. Its function is to visually retell the more fantastic portions of Johnny's Nova Fabulum in 2-act holographic plays that animate the sky. Those fortunate enough to attend the parade get to see the play up close, but it can also be seen from the confines of one's own home. All one has to do is open their window.
Gigi. Remember when we used to stay up late just to sneak a peek at the graph?
Oh, well, yeah, of course. The parade goer and his reminiscent friend stand alone, observing the Nova Fabulum from the Nia Camaria Bridge. The parade goer, who the latter devoutly addresses as Gigi, leans against the bridge's guard railing in deep reminiscence. You would invite me to spend time with you and the fam for the weekend. Gigi giggles with remembrance. And I would always accept. Me, you, Leonardo, Giovanna, and little baby Marcello. And Malucrezzi and Paricardo, but that was never a good thing, given that made trouble for us. The thought of this incites a round of laughter, as the two recall how mischievous they were in their youth. Kids being kids.
It was such a punk back then. So much that I almost chased you away.
The dreamer laughs at himself.
Then you reminded me of my humanity, and that all faces turn black and the blue and strut.
Yes. You allowed me to hit you, right?
No, it was a legit strike, though a bit unexpected.
Yeah, well, it was a bad time, actually. Gigi turns back the hands of time to a season when his family was dealing with a serious issue. My parents were getting a divorce, he says, earning his friend's remorse. Oh, I didn't want to believe it at first. Given we had relocated from our home country, such a long way, and right when I was getting used to things, boom, shit happens. You know, it was your friendship that saved me from things, lots of things, like thoughts of suicide. You were really scared me that time, Gigi. The dreamer confesses. I was just a child, and the thought of losing you to something like that, I just could not bear it. Gigi looks to his friend with warm eyes. Claudio, I am serious, Gigi. I mean, Angel, there you go, getting nervous and clammy again, D. The revealed Angel chuckles at the sight of his friend. The revealed Claudio tensing up. You remember those names, huh, from the Prelude. Angel and Claudio, these are those characters. The former pets the latter's neck in a brotherly manner. You were always like that, getting sweats as soon as something serious is brought up. Honestly, you don't have to trip out. Wait, let me guess. You're not good with things like this, right? Claudio shies away, attempting to hide his blush. Must you tease me, Gigi? That is not very nice, no? His accent overshadows the many evenings he spent practicing how to speak with Angel, his dearest friend. Whenever sensitive subjects or challenging things are presented, Claudia becomes nervous because, well, he's unsure if he'll give a proper response. Do you believe I would assimilate well in your home country? Claudio inquires of his friend. In Ioannina, I mean. My speaking, it has improved, but would it be well enough to, how do I say this? Have a decent conversation? Hearing Angel's understanding brightens Claudio's face with a smile. The former returns his smile before averting his attention to the holographic show in the sky. D. You're one of the most intelligent people in this city of fools, Angel confesses. And one of the nicest. Since I first met you, you went from reciting 2- and 3-word phrases to complete sentences. I haven't been to Ioannina in years, so I can't tell you whether or not you'd assimilate well with the people there. But I can tell you this. You charmed your way into my heart. And you have done the same for me, my friend. Claudio joins his friends in admiring the airborne spectacle. I only wish Mercutio were here. He throws away with thoughts of his beloved girlfriend, the daughter of Fiorentina's governor. Suddenly, a mischievous expression develops on his face. And perhaps my older brother, given you two have become rather close. Angel gives Claudio a slightly humid glare. A chick? Chuckle, asshole. What? It is cute. You just stolen the heart of my big brother. No, it's not, and I'm not about to go there with you. Oh, Gigi, please. Claudio begs with prayer hands. Give it one chance for the smooching. A little snuggle and the kiss and the poofies. No? Poofies? Angel bursts with laughter. Poofies? Claudio! Retire with that. His reaction incites another round of laughter, considering Claudio was just teasing him. This laughter, however, quickly dies down for Angel as a curious thought runs across his mind. Leo, being in love with me? A womanizer like that? Yeah, no chance in hell. Besides, I'm not for one-night stands or dating my friends. Ironically, after hearing this, a rather curious emotion develops within Claudio as the airborne retelling of the white and black faction wars begin. Recalling Claudio isn't a quiet person, Angel turns to his friend to see a seriously discontented facial expression. Oh, something he never thought he'd see from him. Are you all right, Dee? Yes. I am fine, Gigi. Just fine. Then why do you look like you've just been stood up at the altar? Hearing that word, altar, is almost like a verbal bite to Claudio. Pay attention to this part, because this is something else you need to pay attention to. For real. Remember this part. This is one of the defining parts of the story. Remember that. Because there is a romance in the story as well. For all the romance lovers, there's going to be a love story in this too. He wrestles with what to say in response. Considering Angel has inquired about a rather sensitive subject. The altar. He closes his eyes and envisions what it would be like to have Angel as a member of his family. You see, Claudio knows that Angel is attracted to men, and he accepts this because no matter what, no matter how hard things were between them, Angel has always been honest and kind to him. So from time to time, Claudio behaves in a protective manner towards Angel. He knows how foolish Fiorentines are, and feels he can only trust Angel's heart with his brother Leonardo, who lives in the shadows of promiscuity for a very irrational reason. No, this is asking much of you. He looks to Angel with widening eyes. But could you possibly save my big brother from himself, I mean? Confusion builds in the air. Save him from being a womanizer? Talk to him, Gigi, please. The family does not approve of the road he travels. Playing with the hearts of women, putting his health at risk, partying throughout the night, making a mockery of his true feelings. This is rather awkward to Angel, who has never heard Claudio express such emotion with his words. Even more, he's beginning to cry for the first time in front of Angel. He does not listen to us because I do not know. Claudio turns to his friend with depression in his every gesture. even going as far as to hold his hands. Oh. But I know he would listen to you because he would you please spend time with him for me? These eyes filled with pain, despair, and utter hopelessness. A look Angel has never seen before in their decade-long friendship. 10 years of brotherhood, good times, bad times, and times when things were in between. Time that has molded their hearts together with the deepest trust and understanding. Claudio is apparently imploring Angel's assistance with his elder brother Leonardo, who is living a seriously reckless life. Leonardo refuses to listen to his family members and continues to rebel, but Claudio believes Angel might be able to reach him. How should one respond to such a serious request? And this where it gets interactive, people. It's a little addition me and my fellow creators with Team Mystic Storm came up with. Is called "The World Is in Your Hands." It's a choice. It's a choice thing. It's something you can say. It's your resolution. It's your decision. What you decide from these three statements is what the story will be for you. Now, out of these three, only one is canon, and the other two are alternate routes that you can take within the story. But the thing about it is, all three of them are connected. The two alternate routes are connected to the canon. And within the canon story, you will see things unfolding because of the alternate decision, the alternate resolutions made by you. So, what you decide, or even if you decide on the canon story, here's the thing: if you do decide on the canon story, I want you to read the other two, so you can know why certain things are happening in the canon storyline. Because if you don't, you won't understand some things. So it's best that you get the full experience to understand everything. It's actually kind of convoluted, but when you read it, it makes sense. So here we go. Now, decision one is accept Claudio's request to spend time with Leonardo. That's a positive decision. Any really supportive friend who is very passionate about supporting their loved ones and being a forefronter of good character and strength within people's lives, not just their own, would make that decision. But it's also, in a sense, it's also showing signs of insecurity in some sense about yourself. Because a lot of people who do that, they don't really feel the same way about themselves. There's some type of hang-up that they have about themselves that leads to some type of conflicting force, some conflicting stone of personality inside their body. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that the positive, there's always a light and dark side to positivity. That's what people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? But decision two now. Decline Claudio's request and make other plans. Now, that's a negative decision, you know what I'm saying? But, like, once again, there's a good and bad in every decision. You know, some people wouldn't want to get involved in somebody else's business, their family, because they may feel like it's not their place to do it. And some people are just like, I don't want to get involved with that shit. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my problem. You know how some people are. You know, that low-life shit, acting all rusty with people. But, you know, either way, it's human. That's a human thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like decision one is humanity. This is the whole thing about this. Now, decision three is what a lot of people do. Remain silent about the issue, but should I say more so a minority? Because nowadays, these days, people are very verbal about the way they act. So many people They're either verbal because they're ignorant, or they're verbal because they're outspoken. You know what I'm saying? Like myself, I'm verbal because I'm very outspoken. But there is a minority that will remain silent about it because they will feel so insecure about the situation that they wouldn't know how to respond to that. Help my brother. He's going through a very trying time in his life. I need your help, please. That's kind of hard on some people. Like, oh my God, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? So that's what that's about. You know, all three of these are okay decisions, but what is as a human being, what is your decision? Whether you be, because this is the thing, this is a story mostly for people in their late teens, like 18, 19, a little bit older. You could consider this somewhat of a, also relating to people in their mid-teens too, as well, to older generations. But these are decisions that adults would make. You know what I'm saying? Not just people in their teens, but adults. This is something that that a lot of us go through. We're always presented with some type of difficult decision that we have to make. And right now, the world is in your hands. This is your chance to mold this story into your making so you can know more about what's happening in the canon and better understand everything. So while you're reading, it's fun. Even I had fun writing this and going over this with my team. It's a lot of fun. Now, in the next video, which I will post later, maybe in the evening of today, because it's kind of early in the morning, I have a bit of insomnia. Don't laugh at me, but it's like 4 o'clock in the morning here. And I had to do so many retakes of this because, let's just say, if I can post my bloopers, I would. But I'm so embarrassed by them because there was points where I was talking too far away from the microphone, or I was tripping over myself so much that I laughed at myself because I'm so new to this. I used to be in a debate club, and one of the things that we had to do was diction, syntax, speaking out loud, and this and that. So I have a debater's way of reading. I read loudly and with character and strength. So I'm so out of practice with this. This is why I was so nervous in the first video. But if I'm doing okay, just let me know. Sailor Moon 5555 say I have a soothing voice. Thank you so much. Killer Rodan said I'm doing good. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I have people supporting me, because this is I'm really nervous with this because like I said before, this is my first time sharing my work with people to a large, wide audience out there. So yeah, give me some love, help build my confidence just a little bit more, because the more I get into something, the more characterization, the more power, more passion, and the more fun it will be, not just for me, but for everybody else. Because one of the things I've always wanted to do, besides being an author and an educator, I want to go into educations, I always wanted to be a voice actor for some reason. So that's why I've been practicing. I've been musing some people that are very close to me to make these characters kind of pop out and stand out, so you'll know who is who and what is what. And I love the people so much that I started doing that. Less than a year ago, when I was first getting started with the origins of the story. Actually, the origins of Synced, now that I'm on that topic, is actually based on a fan fiction that I was doing for the video game series Assassin's Creed, based on Assassin's Creed 2, the trilogy about Ezio. And Claudio, in a sense, is actually sort of my version of Ezio, the character. So it's like, I don't know where it just, I could not do a full-on fan fiction of the story. It was good at first, but it was just like, no. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to reread that. I'm going to make my own thing. Because one thing I like, one of my most favorite places in the world is Italy. For some reason, I'm just in love with that place. It's such a beautiful place, and the people there are just so fabulous. And it's just, when I saw that, I was just so in love with it that I want to make a fan fiction for that game, the trilogy. So now you know it's out, the cat's out the bag. Synced is like based on my original fan fiction, but it's something else. I have some inspirations to it, added to it. Actually, my excuse me, that was my hand. I'm sorry. Actually, sorry, but that's my bed, by the way. Sorry, but my phone is running low on energy. Oh God. Excuse me. I gotta get my computer. Sorry about that. One of the inspirations was is actually Saint Seiya by Masami Kurumada, the creator. I love that anime so much. And another one, I think the works by Square Enix with Final Fantasy would be considered accurate. Yeah, just a little backstory about Saint, because I think someone within my inner circle asked me about it. So that's just a little something I wanted to add that at the end of this. I know it's almost freaking 50 minutes long with this, but yeah, that's just to, you know, get some stuff out of the way. I'll go in more into detail about it later, but right now I'm going to end this. And your decision, what is your decision? You know, out of those three. Take a moment, think about it, contemplate it at the end of this video. And when the next part comes up, you know, you'll get to hear your decision and what it means and what's going to happen. And by the way, I'm going to tell you, it's some crazy shit, y'all. So get ready for that, all right? All right. Now we're going to end it right here. Sorry for rambling on, but I'm so excited now. I have so much energy, and sorry I said I was going to make this into a dark video, but that was my mess up right there. I'm sorry about that. Y'all saw my hand. Whoops. Y'all saw Dion Mystique's hands. Whoops. In the bed. Whoops. I hope y'all like my sheets, by the way. All right. Like I always say, be free, be open-minded, and love each other. All right. See y'all in a few. Take care.